Death and loss affect all of us. It has a sobering way of getting us to think
about our own mortality. But allowing the grief and pain to remind us of the positives in our lives is key. Love, laughter, the warm touch of another.
New life brought into this world. So many reasons to celebrate life.
Hey there, my friends. Andrew Scott here. I really hope things are going well with you. You know, it's been quite an interesting few weeks, and today it's really a more sobering episode for me. You know, one of the biggest challenges that we can face in this life is the loss of a loved one. The end of a close relationship due to death. We all have experienced this on some level, but, it never gets any easier. I recently lost a really good friend, Dr. Paul, and I really miss him. Not only was he a wonderful husband and great father and grandfather, he was an incredible friend. He really was such an encourager. He always had the right words to say, and he knew how to make you feel important. He knew how to make you feel needed and loved. I'm going to miss you, Doc. Now, it may sound cliche, but during times of death and loss, it has this tendency to get us to think about life and death, to get us to think about, health or lack of. Really, it boils down to thinking about our own mortality. But part of the process of loss is becoming more aware of the positives in life, the wins and successes, the relationships that we built, and, the lifelong memories. Even down to think about the very first time that you tasted what is now your favorite dish or dessert. For me, it's that first sip of morning coffee. Those small things sometimes we can just take for granted. And speaking of things that we can take for granted, the other day my beautiful, wonderful, gracious, sexy, smart, I'm sure I could come up with more descriptors, but I'll spare you for now. Funny and giving wife and I got into a bit of a disagreement. It wasn't a heated, drop down, drag out thing. Those are really rare and we get along really well. We have a great relationship, says every man in a relationship. We just had one of those mornings, You see, we both have the tendency, especially me, to allow that disagreement, that argument, or, that tension to affect us in such a way that when one of us is leaving for the day, we kind of do the half kiss and half hug thing. Do you know what I'm talking about? Normally it's, a full-on kiss and hug and words of love and affirmation and affection. But on days like this, it's so easy to just give a half-hearted goodbye kiss out of obligation. It's almost like I'm trying to punish her. Now, I know that sounds horrible, but it's like I'm trying to punish her without saying that I'm doing that by not giving her my full love and acceptance. Well, on this day, it was heading that direction when it hit me like a ton of bricks. What am I doing? Now, maybe it was the recent loss of a good friend that made me think differently, but I suddenly realized the gravity of this one decision in life. What if she left the house that day and never came back? What if I, even with my best laid plans for this day, were to not return because of an unforeseen accident or tragedy? The bottom line is this. Would I be able to live with the regret of not giving my full, unadulterated love to my wife over what was a petty issue or argument in comparison to losing her? I don't want this to be the last thing that I've ever said to her or the last way that I treated her. It would be so hard to live something like that down. So I looked at her and I said, babe, listen, no matter what happens on any given morning, let's make a pact that we'll never withhold our love from each other, that we wouldn't allow our deep care and concern for one another to be overshadowed by an early morning altercation. It may be hard, but Can we put aside the brief disagreement or argument and focus on what's most important in our lives? Us. Well, she agreed, of course, because she knows that I'm always right.
Oh, no, you didn't.
She does watch these, so maybe I'll edit that out. But seriously, it's a lesson that I hope we never forget. To seize every opportunity possible to share a kiss and embrace a kind word of encouragement with each other, even when we are mad at each other, even when we are in total disagreement about something. I've got some more learning and growing to do. How about you? Maybe this is a conversation that you can get started with your significant other or a friendship or with your kids or your grandkids. It's not the easiest thing to do, but when we choose to show our love, appreciation, and affection toward another, even when we don't feel like it, even when they don't deserve it, guess what? We will never live with regret in our relationships. So what are some ways that you can get the conversation started in your own life? Have you had situations where you've decided to take the high road and not withhold your love and affection from another? Hit me up in the comments below and share some of your stories. I'd love to read it. So I leave you with this, my friends. Let's live well and let's love well. Let's be the inspiration in someone's life to bring them to a greater sense of purpose. Live, love, vlog. Peace and grace, my friends. Hey, listen, if you like the content that I'm putting out on this channel and it's something you're into, make sure to hit that subscribe button and definitely make sure to share it with everyone. And I mean everyone. And most definitely don't forget to hit that like button. And if you don't like the videos, then feel free to hit the dislike button twice. I gotta be honest, I stole that from Gerald Undone. I had to use it. What a great quote. Hit the dislike button twice. Brilliant. See you soon.